Here we are. We're back. All right, welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I am your host, Eric Knowles, and you already know the deal. I am excited. I get excited about bringing our businesses on, helping them grow, but also excited about bringing information to you all. We are a growing community. And one of the challenges, I guess I would say, is how we move about our community. And I am so honored, so pleased to have with us today the director of the Greater Miami Expressway Agency, Mr. Torey Alston. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Good to see you again.
Man, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
It has.
Man, you look like you doing that Benjamin Button thing. I haven't seen you in a while.
You've taught me well.
How are we doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Look, it's a great time and a great time really to be with GMX.
Right. So, I'm going to back up a little bit before we get into GMX. Tell the folks a little bit about your history. I know I've been with the Chamber about 10 years, and we met some years ago.
That's right.
And you've been in a few places. You've been moving around, and now you're at this great agency that you are with now. But let folks know a little bit about Torey and what you have been doing.
Sure. Well, look, thanks for having me on. And I'm no stranger, as you mentioned, to this community. Having really been all around very senior level roles for the past 20 years. So whether it was at Miami-Dade schools, I think where we first had our major connections and worked well together. At that point, working with the Office of Economic Opportunity under then Superintendent Carvalho and now Superintendent Dotris.
Right.
Both great pillars in this community who we all know as strong leaders. Whether it was with the city of Gainesville, where I was the Equal Opportunity Director, worked directly with the City Commission, ADA coordinator there. Whether I was Chief of Staff at the Florida Department of Transportation, as you recall.
Right.
A now $16 billion enterprise with 6,000 employees, really responsible for all transportation needs all across the state. And I've been real humbled and excited that the now GMX Board of Directors asked me in late 2021 to lead this great organization. So for the last several years, I've been the executive director. The board removed the interim title just a couple months back.
Okay.
So serving as the head of the organization, as you know, which is responsible for all transportation projects, which now covers both Miami-Dade and portions of Monroe County.
Okay.
So it's a great agency. With multi-billion dollar, $1 billion of assets that really provide great value to the Miami-Dade and Monroe County community. But I'm excited because, look, there are many projects that have been on the horizon for a very long time.
Right.
There are many business opportunities that I'm excited to begin promoting and sharing. We now have been in existence for more than a year as GMX.
Okay.
State law created the organization effective July 1 of 2023. So we're now beginning to hit the road to tell really the great works and great things that are happening with the agency. Our governing board just passed its first budget and work program, which is huge, which really begins to set the priorities for the agency. So focused on safety, focused on mobility improvements, focused on transportation technology, because as you know, in South Florida, for the listening audience knows, look, we are heavily congested. So with 20 million residents in the state of Florida, with 3+ million right here in South Florida, what can we do to alleviate congestion? What can we do to reduce the amount of distracted drivers on our roads? So that's really our goalpost that the board of directors has asked me to focus on. And look, we have a talented team that I'm excited to lead and work with. And I think we're going to do some great things for the community.
Right. Transportation, we here in South Florida, as you said, you're not just focused on Miami-Dade, you're looking at Monroe County as well, which basically is the Keys for those who are not familiar. I hear people complain. I've been in other cities where the traffic is much worse. And I'm not going to disparage those cities, but I've been in a few cities that even on Sundays there's traffic jams. I know that there's been a lot going on in our community.
That's right.
From North Dade to South Dade.
That's right.
In terms of improvements to improve the experience, to reduce the time that we're in our cars on the roads. We have what's happening up as we natives call the cloverleaf, where the Turnpike and 95 and 826 come together. The one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if it's anecdotal, before they took down the toll booths, you didn't have that backup. That's because it kind of buffered and monitored the traffic as it went through. And that one is really challenging. But the thing about it, they're working on it.
That's right.
And I tell you, I can't wait to see when that change happens, because there's a lot going on just there in that I guess I would say intersection.
That's right. That's right. And look, I'll tell you, because I recall when I was chief of staff at FDOT, and now working with FDOT as a partner to GMX, working with Miami-Dade County, working really with all of our transportation partners. I think you made the right point, but the Golden Glades interchange really is a phenomenal benefit that we all know once it's completed will do wonders for this community. But I'll tell you, at GMX, I'm excited to continue working with the TPO and all of our partners, because in Florida, we have a great challenge. There are 1,000 visitors per day that come to Florida. A third of those are right here in South Florida. So the good news is we have so much tourism, economic development, business development, but that creates opportunities for us in transportation. How are we planning and thinking of the future? Not really for today, but 20 and 30 years from now. So that's really the exciting part of having this conversation and leading GMX, because we're at a pivotal moment as we work with our partners, both for me, Miami-Dade County and Monroe County, as we work with FDOT and the Florida Turnpike, as we work with the TPO, and thinking about what should our transportation system look like 30 years from now. I'm excited to
let folks know what TPO stands for. We throw out all these acronyms.
That's right, and normally I'm the non-acronym person, but in South Florida and really in Miami-Dade, we're unique to have a transportation planning organization.
Okay.
In other parts of the state, it's called an MPO, a metropolitan planning organization, which really is federally mandated and funded as the local transportation planning arm that forecasts, that plans, and that really works with all transportation partners in that region. So GMX is proud to work with the TPO, the Miami-Dade Transportation Planning Organization, and really all who sit on it, the county commissioners, our municipal leaders, mayors, and commissioners as well.
Okay. And again, we talk about the Golden Glades, and again, I'm excited about what's happening there.
Oh yeah.
We got what's happening on 395.
Oh yeah.
I'm laughing. Beverly in my office, she said, "I'm not going up on that." And they have this structure.
Yep, the double decker.
The double decker.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about the double decker.
Let's do it.
But we'll be right back. We're going to hear some words from our supporters, and we'll be right back with Torey Alston.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
Hi, and welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I'm here with Director Torey Alston with the Greater Miami Expressway Agency. Used to be the authority, but now it's the agency.
That's
they
right.
changed the name because they brought in a great guy to run it, and so they need to rekindle or refire the engine. So as we refire that engine, before we went to a break, we were talking about the 395, and you say the double decker, and what's happening coming off of 836, going to 395, going south, I-95, going north. There's a lot. You think there's a lot going on in the Golden Glades. That intersection there, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I think, again, this speaks to the great opportunities that we have in South Florida that's really unlike many other areas. So whether it is the Golden Glades to the north, whether it is the double-decker, as we call it, and I know that those who utilize our roads see it and what's really to come. But I think the big outcome that those who use our roads and commuters really want to see is, are there projects that will help me reduce travel time from point A to point B?
Right.
Are there projects that will help reduce or alleviate congestion on our roads? And that's one of the big projects that we are excited about, working with Florida Department of Transportation and other partners, because when that is complete very soon, that will do wonders for this community. And I'll also tell you, just right under the double-decker, the Miami River, we've had a lot of conversations with our board. And as you saw the tragedy that occurred up in Baltimore really just a couple months back,
Yes.
when there are ships that come down our waterways that may not be tugged or that may not be controlled by another party, how do we make sure we protect our infrastructure? So I'll tell you, and I'm excited that our board had foresight to have this conversation months ago, but as the head of the agency, we're looking both at how we maintain our current infrastructure and really the resiliency around all of our structures. So the bridges that we maintain, the roadways that we must preserve, separate from all the projects and construction that you've just referenced, and that we have going on all in South Florida.
Okay. With all that being said, how can businessmen and women get engaged and find opportunities to do business with GMX?
Well, I'm most excited about that topic,
Okay.
having worked together on this. And I'm really excited because we just brought on someone at GMX who will now serve as our small business officer, community engagement officer, because our board has said, let's do more to support our local businesses. Let's do more to support our small businesses. So I'm really excited about that. So first I will say, go to our website.
Okay.
www.gmx-way.com. Again, www.gmx-way.com. And that's really where you can see all the upcoming procurement opportunities. We now did something that I did in my past life, which is to now post procurement forecasts. So if you're an engineer, if you're an architect, if you are a CPA that's on the goods and services side, if you're someone in marketing, all of those opportunities will be posted, and you'll see exactly when some of those opportunities will hit the street. But more so, when they're not competitive, you must be in the game. So I'm excited that our new small business and community engagement officer will really help us identify many of these businesses who really have never done business with the agency.
Right.
That is really important as we, increase opportunities, as we level the playing field for our local small businesses. Look, one of the first things I asked the team when I first got to GMX is, let's look at how much we invest in our local small businesses. I'm really excited that a lot of dollars, millions of dollars have been invested locally. And we can do more, and I think we'll do more based on the board's direction.
Okay. And again, as you said, when we first started, when you were with the school board, we were quite engaged. You were quite engaged, and they continue to be quite engaged with the chamber. Why is it important that GMX reaches out to the chamber? And I know some of those things you just said, but go a little deeper.
Yeah, well, no, partnership is important. Collaboration is important. We are members of many different organizations and associations, whether it's IBTTA, which is the International Bridge, Tunnel, and Turnpike Association, all the toll authorities around the country, whether it's the South Florida, Hispanic Chamber, whether it is, other organizations that really make an impact in this community. You make an impact. You make a difference. Your members make a difference. And how we get them engaged in the contracting opportunities with our agency is vital. Our board has been crystal clear. Let's do more with our local small businesses. Let's do more with local businesses right here in Miami-Dade and Monroe County. And I have my charge, and I will make sure that we do that. We are revamping our procurement policies and procedures. We're revamping how we conduct what we call selection committees, how we select those vendors who do work with our agency. So I'm excited about what's ahead, and I think we have the right team in place that'll get us there.
And speaking about, Monroe, obviously, Dade County is a big county. When you go from Florida City to Miami Gardens, that can take probably a 45-minute, hour drive, depending how fast you're driving. Obviously, working with Monroe and our challenges when it comes to the storms.
Yes.
I'm sure you all look at that. Basically, you have two lanes going, one lane going in, one lane coming out.
That's right.
Is there any future insight there in terms of hurricane preparedness and how you move transportation?
Sure. Well, the legislature was prudent when they added Monroe County to our jurisdiction back in 2023. So I appreciate the work of our state leaders. Ultimately, that was signed into law by the governor. I know we have a new incoming speaker that we're all excited about from Miami-Dade, really in just a couple months. But it's a great time for South Florida. It's a great time for our leaders. So I'm excited about what's ahead for GMX. I'll tell you, and I was just over on our Monroe County jurisdiction just a few weeks back, putting my eyes on our roadways, which is really the loop road, and I'm pretty sure most of the viewing audience is familiar. It is, some paved areas, some unpaved areas, but it is our responsibility now for GMX to make sure we're maintaining all of our roads. I think you made a very important point. That all of our roadways, we try to ensure that we work collaboratively with FHP, that we work collaboratively with all of our first responders to ensure they have access at peak times. If you look at the red lanes on the 836,
right.
We work collaboratively with FHP. Miami-Dade Schools, I think, has reached out recently, and a few other partners. So they can utilize these red lanes that we know add value during peak time when congestion really is at an all-time high.
Right. One of our challenges when we first started, and we got just a little time left, is congestion. Mm-hmm. We talk about the north-south, which how do you play in that sandbox when it comes to the north-south connection or et cetera?
So there's a role for GMX in transportation. There's a role for Miami-Dade County in transportation, mm-hmm. i.e. transit. Mm-hmm. There's a role for the TPO in transportation, ensuring that we collaboratively work together and plan. GMX's role is to be that facilitator. GMX's role is to make sure that we are providing quality service to those who use our roadways. GMX's role is also to make sure that we can do all that we can to relieve congestion, that we can reduce travel times. And I'll tell you one thing that I just put in place since coming on board. There are appropriate metrics and outcomes that we as transportation leaders should look at regularly. How are we relieving congestion? It's very simple, right? We can ask those on the roads and they'll tell us, but that's important to me.
Yeah, I tell you, we could talk for another half hour, another hour, but we got to wrap it up. If they want to get in touch with your office?
Sure. So again, this great conversation, I'd encourage the listening audience to go to www.gmx-way.com. Again, that's www.gmx-way.com.
And you can reach out to the Chamber at 305-751-8648. m-dcc.org. This has been the Member Connection, and we will be getting together so we can have a community conversation with you and your team so we can learn more about what's going on at GMX. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I stand before you, a proud graduate of Miami-Dade College and the 5th president of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I'm honored to return to the college that prepared me to become a leader in our community, providing an education second to none. So I'm asking you to please tune in every Monday at 12 noon to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce's Member Connection, as I interview members of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce on our Facebook page at Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce or our YouTube channel, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. To learn more about the Chamber, please go to m-dcc.org or call the Chamber at 305-751-8648.